Hey guys, in this video I'll be talking about building habits, the 3 rules you must follow, and why your habits never seem to actually stick. But first, let me tell you a story. This will start about 6 months ago when I was on a massive YouTube binge on self-improvement videos, learning about things like cold showers, benefits of reading, gratitude. But then I came across meditation, and that sounded like something I desperately needed, and I tried to implement that into my own life as a habit. I started at 10 minutes a day and I failed. I think I lasted like 3 or 4 days and then I just stopped meditation. So after a few weeks, I wanted to do more research into the forming of habits, so why I actually failed to implement it. Then I went on another massive binge of videos and I read Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I watched a particular interesting video by Hamza about habits and consistency. That was instrumental in me learning about habits. So now I'm ready to go back for round 2. I'm gonna start meditating again. This time using the stuff I've learned from the videos, I'm gonna nail it. And nail it I did. That was, I think, 4 months ago now, and I'm up to, and of course I did it. I consistently meditate now, and it's a part of me. Every day I meditate. Right now it's about 5 minutes 45 seconds and I've reaped the benefits of it. I now meditate and it's now part of me. This story leads directly into my first point. If you want to implement a new habit, start at a ridiculously easy level. That way you'll feel stupid for not being able to actually complete it. Let's take meditation as an example. Make the goal of that day to do 1 deep breath and you've succeeded in hitting your goal. 1 deep breath and then go do whatever else you want to do. That's all you do. 1 deep breath, you're done, and you've reached your meditation goal. Or for doing push-ups, you could do 1 push-up and that's all, 1 push-up. Everyone can do that. Just drop down and give me 1 push-up right now. Of course you can do that. So have that 1 breath, that 1 push-up as the goal for that day. That is the goal. You have succeeded if you do that 1 deep breath or that 1 push-up. Some days you'll feel like doing more, and of course go straight for it. If you want to do 10 deep breaths, if you want to do 20 push-ups, go for it. But make your baseline 1 push-up, 1 deep breath. That is your goal. You've succeeded if you hit it. So then after you've done this for a while, a few weeks of consistently doing it, I want you to gradually up the challenge. So go from 1 push-up to 2 push-ups, 1 deep breath to 2 deep breaths. Gradually improve the challenge over time. This will give the most time for the habit to actually stick. Now I know what you're about to say. Jacob, that sounds pointless. And this is your ego talking. You're thinking, I'm way better than that. I can do 20 push-ups. 1 push-up is way too easy. But I've literally explained this concept to a friend of mine and they've replied the exact same way. But it's just not how it is. It's your ego getting in the way. You need to set aside your ego and actually just follow through on the plan. It's just how it is. Having the goal set so easy will basically make it impossible to fail. And that's what you want to do whilst gradually upping the challenge, giving yourself the most opportunity to not fail. Like imagine if you fail to do 1 push-up. Bro, I can't even do 1 push-up a day. How pathetic is that? That's not going to happen. You're going to be able to do 1 push-up. So if you actually implement this, you will see results. Just trust me, it's worked for me and it's worked for Hamza and his thousands of followers as well. So if you combine this with the other 2 rules I'm about to give you, building new habits and sticking to them will be so incredibly easy. So basically, break the habit down into a very simple task, i.e. 1 push-up. Do that for a few weeks, then gradually up the challenge, 2, 3 push-ups, and then you'll be golden. And of course your goal is to get to like 50 push-ups or whatever your goal is. So now the second rule for building habits is to prime your environment for success. And in this next question, we'll be using the example of you're trying to not eat as much junk food. Okay, so what do you think would prime you more for success? Walking past a counter 20 times a day that has a cookie jar on it, compared with walking past that counter, but this time it has a fruit jar on it. Or a platter of fruit, or literally just nothing. The answer is obviously walking past the fruit basket and not having the cookie jar readily accessible. Basically, you want to take out as many bad triggers, things that make you want to partake in that bad habit, and replace it with good ones instead. We'll go back to my example. So we're going to replace the bad trigger, the cookie jar, with a good trigger, which is the fruit basket. That's basically just what it means to prime your environment. Your brain basically goes, ooh, cookie. I want to eat the cookie. It's right there anyway. Let's eat it. It's so easy to get. Let's have the cookie. Even if your brain wasn't thinking about, hey, right now, you know what would be good? I want a cookie. You see the cookie and then realize, oh, I could do for a cookie. Your brain literally wasn't even thinking about it, but seeing that trigger has sparked an interest in you to partake in the bad habit. Also, you can make participating in this habit much harder or literally impossible to do. It's because your brain is lazy and will try to do the most easy path to getting what you want. And what that looks like is you could hide that cookie jar away on top of somewhere that's not easily accessible. You'd have to go climb for it, or you'd put a lock on it, or just something so it's not easily accessible. At that point, the cookie jar's out of sight, out of mind, and you're a lot less likely to participate in that bad habit. Also, a bit of a bonus tip, you can make that habit really hard to do, or really easy to do depending on if it's a good or bad habit. Like an example from my life is scrolling, and I managed to stop scrolling. Really bad habit that I managed to cure, thank God. Believe it or not, all I did, I deleted Instagram. To restart scrolling, I'd have to re-download Instagram, re-sign in, and redo all that. My brain's lazy, doesn't want to do that, therefore I don't scroll. Also, it was very interesting because the next few days after, my brain would just subconsciously, when I'm on autopilot, scroll to the third page on my phone and press on where Instagram was, and now there was nothing there. And then my brain would go sad for a second and then realize, oh, there's no Instagram. What do I do? And it was just kind of interesting to me. So basically, prime your environment by removing bad triggers, replacing it with good triggers, and make doing the habit really challenging or impossible. The last rule is a tip I got from the book Atomic Habits. It's a great book, and I'd 100% recommend it for anyone looking to learn more about habit forming. And there's a link in the description if you're interested. The last rule is to use habit stacking and time to manipulate the habits into being built. Habit stacking is basically when you just stack habits on top of each other. For example, you brush your teeth at the same time every day. That's one habit that's already ingrained into you. You can then start a new habit before or after the already ingrained habit. So in this case, brushing the teeth. So say you want to implement reading as a habit right after you brush your teeth. You literally brush your teeth, grab your book and start reading. Right after you brush your teeth, grab your book, start reading. That's all you do. If you do this for a while, your brain will subconsciously say, oh, we just brushed our teeth, let's go read a book. This will make it a lot easier for habits to form, since they already have the prior habit already built. And also using time. Doing a habit at the same time every day is using the same little principle that I just explained, and it's also an effective way to build habits. So say you want to go to the gym. You go to the gym at the same time every day, every week, every time, no matter what. So say you go 2:30, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. 2:30 comes around, you go to the gym. That's just what happens. That time is used for that habit no matter what. So basically stack previously existing habits on top of new ones that you want to build, and use time as a way to do the habit at the same time every day, thus creating it as a habit. A last little bonus tip is to reduce as much friction as possible, so it's as easy as possible to actually partake in the habit. And just like I said earlier, the brain is really lazy, and we don't want to go through many different hurdles just to achieve the same thing that we could achieve much easier without going through those hurdles. So we have to make doing the habit as easy as possible. What that looks like is, say you want to start going to the gym. You lay out your bag and you lay out your clothes. So now that when you're getting ready to go to the gym, you don't have to think about that, and it's just that much easier. So you just want to make doing the habit as easy as possible and give yourself as much chance for success as possible. Okay, we're going to do a cool little exercise now. So we're together going to use this video's rules to start the habit of actually journaling every day. So this is all theoretical, just play along with me, and this should be a good summation of everything we've learned in this video, and we're going to wrap it all up nicely. So we're going to start with thinking, when can we actually do the habit? So that means, first of all, we're going to start off with habit stacking and using time manipulation. Okay, so theoretically, we brush our teeth every day at 10 o'clock. That's the habit stacking. We're going to stack on top of brushing our teeth, and at 10 o'clock every day. So what we're going to do with this information is, right after brushing our teeth, we're going to go straight into journaling. So at the same time every day after brushing our teeth, we're going to go into journaling. Also, we want to have primed our environment and reduce as much friction as possible. So that means we're going to have already laid out beforehand a pen, a notepad, or whatever we're going to use to journal, just to make actually starting the habit as frictionless as possible. So that means there's no faffing about trying to find a pen or a notepad. We just get straight into it right after we brush our teeth. Then, using the first rule of starting ridiculously easy, we're going to make it a goal to write one sentence. That's all we're going to do. Have the goal of write one sentence for journaling, and we're done. If we do one sentence, we've succeeded, and we can put pen, notepad away, and we're done. And again, of course, if you want to write more in this example, you can. Just make that one sentence the goal. So now with all this combined, we consistently do it at the same time every day, right after brushing our teeth. It doesn't take very much for us to do it because we've reduced friction. We've laid out the notepad and pen so that we're ready to get straight into it. And the challenge is, there is no challenge to doing it. It's a sentence. And that means we can gradually up the challenge as we get more proficient at it and as we've built the habit. And then you can probably see how, if you combine all of this, you're going to succeed in forming any new habit. So yeah, if you start implementing these rules, actually building habits is going to be so much easier for you. So if you found this video helpful, I recommend you go watch my How to Build a Top 1% Physique in 2024, because I put so much effort into that, and it's just such a good guide if that's something you're looking for. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and later guys.